Hello and welcome to Rathod's IAS. Today in this video, we are going to discuss current affairs of 12th August 2023. So first of all, we are going to see the brief introduction regarding the topics so that you can understand from which subject point of view that topic is important and how it is relevant to our UPSC syllabus. So we are going to understand that. After that, we are going to see detailed analysis from all the dimensions, which is important to write answers in your UPSC mains. And apart from that, we are going to see even Hindu newspaper PDF at last. Okay, so wherever it is necessary, we are going to cover static syllabus, we are going to cover some stats and even maps. Okay, so we are going to have an integrated current affairs analysis in this video. So first topic, it is about India needs a new economic policy. So recently NSO, so what is this NSO? That is National Statistic Office, which released a data. So this data says that there is constant decline in our economy. So in our economy, we are seeing that there is constant decline. So because of this constant decline, so it will be having negative impact, right? So if India's economy is declining, and if you see in this globalized world, every country is connected with each other. So because of this declining of economy here, so what happened? So international arena also, there will be the decreasing of significance for India. So it should not happen because India want to be a big brother, right? Especially in this South Asian part, and we have to focus on improving of our economy always. So decreasing of our GDP, it is a negative sign, right? So because of this article says that yes, we need a new economic policy now. So we need a new economic policy. So this article is important from your economy, which comes to the GS paper 3. And this topic is exclusively important from your mains. So we are not going to see any political agenda here, because in which government time what they did, but from the constantly. So if you see the out view, so we can understand that from 2016 onwards, there is a decline in our economy. So we need a new economic policy now. So here, what are the steps can be taken? So those steps are given in this article, and we are going to understand that such that how it will lead to economic revival of our country. And next topic is petty battles. So it is a battle between ruling party and opposition party. So as you all know that here monsoon session is going on in our parliament. So in parliament, every year we will be having 3 sessions: budget session, monsoon session and winter session, right? So what happens? So whenever these sessions are happening, sometimes we can see there will be disruptions. So yesterday Kaveri asked me, so what is the impact of this parliamentary disruptions, right? So because of this protest which is doing by this opposition party, especially in parliament, what happened? That will lead to parliamentary disruptions. So because of this frequent parliament disruptions, what happened? So there will be effect on law making process, because during this parliament sessions only the bills will be passed, and after once the bill will be passed, whenever it is getting assent, so that bill will become an act or a law. So because of this parliamentary disruption, so this law making process will be affected. And even whenever any bill to be passed, so we need to have effective discussions, debate and voting. So whenever this opposition party is not present in the house, means what happened? So this effective discussions, debate and voting will be affected. Okay. And this article, it is talking about because of this Manipur issue. Because of this Manipur violence, so opposition parties, they are doing protest. But despite of the protest, so many bills have been passed in the houses. So it is one cause of concern. And apart from that, here we have to see what is this no confidence motion, because now here opposition party asked the ruling party to pass this no confidence motion. So they are saying that we are not having any confidence in the present government. So we need to have a new government. So whenever this no confidence motion is passed, means the present government need to vacate and new government need to be formed, right? So here you have to understand what is this no confidence motion. So this no confidence motion is very important from your prelims and as well as mains point of view. And here you need to remember which are the important points for prelims and which are important points for your mains. Nothing less, nothing more. So this topic is important from your GS paper 2 under polity. And next topic is Centre seeks to overhaul British era criminal laws. So we're talking about criminal laws in India. So these were made since in the British time. So for example, we have IPC, that is Indian Penal Code. So we might come across this number of sections of here IPC, and we have this Criminal Procedure Code and as well as Indian Evidence Act. So these three are the British era criminal laws. So even though they came up in the British time, we are continuing that. That means we can see there is a British legacy still present in our India. So we are following this British laws and we are accepting British paramountcy till now. So this is the evidence, right? So here our central government want to pass a bill. They came up with three bills which are going to repeal this three British era criminal laws, that is IPC, CRPC and Indian Evidence Act. So here we have to see what are the important provisions of that bill. So why we need that? So what is the significance? And this topic is again important from your polity, which comes in the GS paper 2, and this topic is at most important from your mains. And next topic is Tamil Nadu to move top court as Karnataka refuses to share Kaveri water. So yes, this Kaveri water dispute is not a new issue. So it has been since we are getting this issue from 1950s onwards. So here whenever any river which originated in one state and it is moving towards other states also, and finally they will be joining either Arabian Sea or Bay of Bengal. So especially this Kaveri, it is a east flowing river, that means it will be flowing into Bay of Bengal, and it is passes to different states. So whenever it is passing to different states, so for the first state it is upper riparian state. So from upper riparian states water will be flows towards the slope. So if the country, if that state which is present in the upper riparian state, it is building the dams, what happened? There is a decreased flow of water into the next state. So here in this Kaveri water issue also the same thing happened. So upper riparian states, they went for building of dams, and now the lower riparian states are asking for the release of water. Okay, so here you have to see what is the central water authority also. And here you have to see constitutional provisions which are present regarding this interstate water disputes. That is water dispute between two states. So what is authority that is present in India? So how we are going to tackle with this type of issues? So these are some things that you have to know as a bureaucrat. And next topic it is about Lunar 25 will not affect Chandrayaan, Russian Space Agency. So Russian Space Agency is nothing but Roscosmos. In India we have ISRO. In the same way in Russia they have Roscosmos. Okay. So here this article says that Russia also came up with Lunar mission. So unfortunately what happened? So that mission will be also landing on the same south pole of moon, and it is also landing on the same day on August 23rd, where this Chandrayaan will be landing on the same south pole. So here in this context, the Russian Space Agency says that there is enough space. So there will be no collision between this Chandrayaan 3 and as well as Lunar 25. And even there are some small difference between this Lunar 25 and Chandrayaan 3 mission. So we have to know that. And this topic is important from your science and technology, which comes in the GS paper 3. And next topic is India focused on strengthening MDBs, that is multi-development banks. So here we have to address global challenges, says our finance minister. So here if you are talking about role of India, India is enjoying the presidencyship of G20, right? So because of this, in this context, India want to strengthen this MDBs. So here you have to see what are those MDBs especially, and what is the need, so what is significance, so why we need to go for strengthening of this MDBs. So this topic is important from your economy, which comes in the GS paper 3. So these are the topics. Now we are going to have a detailed discussion in this lecture. So please don't skip the video anywhere, because we are going to see the key facts and explanation will be very deep, so that even though if you don't know the context, or even though if you don't know the static syllabus, So after listening this lecture, I will ensure you that you can understand at least 70 to 80% of that crux of that article. Okay, and if you are visiting Rathod's IAS for the first time, please do subscribe. Okay, and now let us try to see the first topic. It is about a need of new economic policy. So we're talking about this new economic policy. So why we are talking about this now? Because of the data released by National Statistical Office. So National Statistical Office will be releasing the data. So this data, it is about the GDP growth. So this article says that, so the data of this NSO which says that during this COVID-19 period, in the first quarter, we saw negative growth. That is minus 23.8% of growth. And at the same time also for the next 1 year also we saw the negative growth. So there is nothing much like positive growth that is seen in India. And based on this NSO released data, we need to come up with the 3 conclusions. So first one is, we can see there is a Hindu rate of growth. So Hindu rate of growth, that is around 3.5% of growth rate. The first and the foremost thing here is, we can see there is a Hindu rate of growth. So what exactly meaning of this Hindu rate of growth? That is nothing but, we can see there is a slow growth in the country. And this slow growth is basically refers to, there is a low pace of economic growth rates during 1950s to 1980s. So how there is a small and very less growth that is seen in Indian economy. In the same way now also we are seeing a very slow growth rate of 3.5%. So this slow growth rate is called as Hindu rate of growth. And the second important thing here is, since 2014, whenever our Prime Minister he came into power, so he focused on Vikas. Vikas means nothing but progress. Vikas means nothing but progress, that is nothing but development. So here this article says that, so we need to recognize that since 2014 our present government which is focusing on Vikas growth. So because of this, yes, we achieved this Hindu rate of growth. And third important thing here is, during P.V. Narasimha Rao government and Manmohan Singh government, so at that time, so our country witnessed a high rate of growth. It is about 6 to 8%. Okay, so 6 to 8% of growth that achieved during the periods of Narasimha Rao government and as well as Manmohan Singh government. So why were they focused? So they focused on the reforms in our economic system during this time. So they focused on Indian economic system, and they focused on reducing of state participation, and even they focused on increasing of incentives for the capital and labor providers. So because of this, that led to the faster pace of growth in our economy. But from 2016 onwards, now we are seeing the continuous decline of growth. So there is continuous decline of growth from 2016 onwards. So in this context here, author says that, so Modi government has failed to structure economic policy coherently. So because of this, now we need a new economic policy. So this is about the background. And what can be the steps taken? So the first one is, we have to go for clear implementation, and that policy should have proper economic objectives, and we have to come up with the clear-cut priorities in which sector we are going to give the priority. And in today's dark economic condition, so it is essential that personal income tax to be abolished and goods and service tax to be scrapped. So actually we came up with this GST in 2017. So because of this, instead of cascading effect, we can see there is increased burden on the people. And we have to, so whenever there is a decreasing of personal income tax and as well as a goods and service tax, then we can incentivize investors and NRs. So that will lead to the increasing of economic growth. And apart from that, so what are the resources which need to get for the government? So government can be getting that resources by imposing indirect tax. But whenever there is indirect tax imposed, that will be having negative impact on the middle class people and also the poor people, because it is going to affect each and everyone same, right? And even we have to focus on employment generation. So whenever employment is generated, then what happens? There will be the supply of the money in the market. And what are the interest rates are present on the loans? So they have to be very much small, and as well as medium industries, they should not be more than 6% of the loans to increase the production of these sectors. And actually this article says that we need this economic policy urgently. So here we have to come up with clear objectives, clear priorities and a strategy to achieve these targets, and we have to focus on intelligent and transparent resource mobilization, and we have to plan on financial policies as well. So apart from that, we can also focus on deregulation of the loss making units, and because of this we can increase employment opportunities, and we can also see there will be affirmative action and there will be easy access to the social security benefits also. So here in this way, if we are going for the new economic policy, so we can ensure transparency and we can ensure accountability and as well as trusteeship as well. So in this way here we can also make profit. Okay, profit making will be very smoothly, and that drives the market system in our country. So this is about this article in detail. And now let us try to see second article. Title says petty battles. So this article is talking about the battle between the ruling party and as well as opposition party regarding Manipur violence. So here we are going to focus on one important keyword, that is no confidence motion. So here you need to know what exactly is this no confidence motion. So what is the process of this no confidence motion, and even you have to know what is the significance and how many times this no confidence motion has been passed in our country. Okay, so these were the crux that you have to know. So if you see the context, why it is in news, because opposition party stated objective of moving of this no confidence motion against Prime Minister government. So the present government which is formed by our Prime Minister, that is Narendra Modi ji. So here opposition party want to move this no confidence motion against this present Prime Minister and Council of Ministers because of ongoing ethnic violence in Manipur. So here if you are talking about no confidence motion, it is one of the parliamentary motion. So we have adjournment motion. Okay, so we have number of motions. So one of such motion in our parliament here is no confidence motion. So no confidence motion is moved only in Lok Sabha but not in Rajya Sabha. So this is one important thing, and it will be passed against entire Council of Ministers, against Council of Ministers. So which Constitutional Amendment Act which says that this Council of Ministers should not be more than 15%. So please let me know in the comment box. So this will be interesting, right? So here this no confidence motion will be passed against entire Council of Ministers. And why? Because here they stated that no longer deemed it fit. So the present government is no longer deemed to fit hold positions of responsibility because of inadequacy in some respect or their failure to carry any obligations. So whenever this people of parliament, especially opposition party, they feel that the present government is not working properly, so that time here, so they can call for no confidence motion and will be passed against entire Council of Ministers headed by Prime Minister. So here to pass this motion there is no need of prior recommendation in Lok Sabha. So what is the procedure? The first one is a motion of no confidence against the government will be introduced only in Lok Sabha. So only in Lok Sabha. But where it is written under Rule 198 of Lok Sabha. So under Rule 198 of Lok Sabha, it said that so this motion can be introduced only in Lok Sabha. And the Constitution of India does not mention about this no confidence motion, either a confidence or no confidence motion. So regarding this motion, so nowhere in our Constitution which is written. So this is also very important prelims fact. But one article says about this, that is Article 75. So Article 75 specifies that Council of Ministers, they shall be collectively responsible to Lok Sabha. Okay, so because of this motion can be passed only in Lok Sabha. So why this motion can be passed only in Lok Sabha? Because Article 75 says that Council of Ministers, they shall be collectively responsible to Lok Sabha. And a motion of no confidence can be admitted when a minimum of 50 members, they have to support this motion in the House. So minimum of 50 members, they have to support the motion in the House. And the Speaker then, once satisfied that the motion is in order, will ask the House if motion can be adopted. So if motion is passed, then what happened? So entire government need to vacate the office. So it is mandatory. So 100%. So if this motion is passed with the majority, so 100% government, okay, that is Prime Minister who is heading this Council of Ministers. So entire this team should be resigned, okay, and new government will be formed. So how many times in India this no confidence motion has been introduced? So it is like 27 times no confidence motions introduced in the Lok Sabha since we got independence. And the first no confidence motion which is against administration of Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru, and that was present in year 1963. And the motion obtained only 62 votes in the favor, but 347 votes against it. That means the majority is not there. Okay, and recently the last no confidence motion was moved in 2018 against NDA government. Okay, so these are some important facts that you have to know. And if you're talking about what is the significance, so in our constitution, to make the government which is responsible and accountable, so we are having one motion, that is no confidence motion. Okay, and I want to give you one mains question for the practice, that is, to what extent in your view Parliament is able to ensure accountability of executive in India? So try to write answer for this question and please post in the comment box so that you will be getting evaluation also. And you have to write answer within 150 words. And next topic, it is about British era criminal laws. So center seeks to overhaul British era criminal laws. So it is talking about three important laws. First one is Indian Penal Code, that is IPC. Second one is CRPC, Criminal Procedure Code. And third one is Indians Evidence Act. Okay, Indians Evidence Act of 1872. So here you can see the year, that is 1872. Okay, so these are the three important criminal laws which were framed during the British period, and still now they are continuing their legacy in India. I don't know why. So number of times I thought that yes, we got independence from Britishers, that is 400 years ago. But even though, why we are following the rules and the laws which are made during this British era time? So I don't understand. So let me know your opinion whether you are having the same doubt or not. Okay, so if you are having the same doubt, so let us come together and find the solution for this. Okay, so now let us try to see the context. So our Union Home Minister introduced 3 bills in Lok Sabha, and these 3 bills, they are going to repeal this British era laws of like Indian Penal Code, Criminal Procedure Code and Indian Evidence Act. So what are those bills? The first one is Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita Bill. So this bill which replaces Indian Penal Code. So actually this bill which provides punishment as a maximum, that is capital punishment will be the maximum sentence. But Supreme Court said that capital punishment should be given in the rarest of the rarest cases. Okay. So in not all cases, but in the rarest of the rare cases, yes, there can be the capital punishment given. And the maximum sentence for mob lynching is just 10 years imprisonment, and for sexual intercourse with a woman on false promise also there is 10 years of imprisonment. And this bill states that sexual intercourse by a man with his own wife who is not being under 18 years, it will not come under rape. That means if it is less than 18 years, that will come under rape. And this bill for the first time defines words like terrorism and offences like separatism, armed rebellion against the government, and even challenging the sovereignty of the country. And this bill proposes 313 amendments, and these are going to bring some revolutionary changes to criminal justice system also. So which are those 3 bills? The first one is Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita Bill. It will be going to replace IPC, and we have Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita Bill. It is going to replace this IPC, and this one is Bharatiya Nagarik Suraksha Sanhita Bill. Suraksha Sanhita is dealing with criminal procedure, and this one is Bharatiya Sanksha Bill. It talks about repealing of Indian Evidence Act of 1872. So what is significance? Now in this laws, So earlier in this laws like IPC, CRPC, so we do not have the space for mob lynching. But nowadays there is increasing of mob lynching and vigilantism. So here we need the laws to deal with that also, right? So here we are having a new provision of mob lynching. So this mob lynching can be punishable by 7 years of imprisonment or sometimes life imprisonment or death penalty. And here it is also focusing on providing the justice speedy, that is speedy justice delivery system. It's also talking about e-filing of FIRs. And we also came up with expanding the definition of sedition under this. And also we brought corruption and terrorism, organized crime under this penal laws. Okay, so these are some important significance. And apart from that, we want to strengthen and protect colonial rule also. And the important aim it is to punish and not to provide the justice. So here one important thing you have to focus here is, so here the new laws will going to replace the colonial laws. So because of this, what happened now, citizens constitutionally guaranteed rights at the center, and we are going to protect them, and we are going to provide the justice and not to punish now. And here our government is focusing on sabka saath, sabka vikas, sabka vishwas, sabka prayas. So here for that we have to focus on providing the accessible and speedy justice. So this is about this topic. And now let us try to see next article. It is about Kaveri water dispute. So title says Tamil Nadu to move top court as Karnataka refuses to share Kaveri water. So if we are talking about context, it says that Tamil Nadu government said it would move the Supreme Court over its due share of Kaveri water from Karnataka. So here the complaint is given by Tamil Nadu on which state, that is on Karnataka. So these two are the neighboring states in which this river Kaveri which is flowing. So here this article is very important and you have to know interstate water disputes. So what is the issue of this Kaveri water dispute? So this Kaveri water dispute which involves 3 states and also 1 union territory. So 3 states includes Tamil Nadu, Karnataka and Kerala, and even Puducherry is involved. So this origin of the conflicts may be tracked back to 2 arbitration agreements, and these agreements which signed between Madras Presidency and Mysore in 1892 and 1924. So this means before our independence, but after independence also from 1950s onwards. So this issue it is going on. So here if you're talking about which are the constitutional provisions talks about interstate water dispute. So we have article 262 subclass 1. So it talks about Parliament may by law provide for adjudication, that is solving of this dispute which is related to the water sharing between the states. And next one is article 262 subclass 2, which empowers the Parliament to provide neither Supreme Court nor any other court shall exercise their jurisdiction in respect to such disputes or complaints. And even we came up with this Interstate River Water Dispute Acts of 1956. So this act which enacted under article 262 of our Indian Constitution. And if we are talking about 7th schedule, so we are having entry 17. So entry 17 talks about water supplies, irrigation and canals, drainage, water storage, water power, etc. which comes under this entry 17. And entry 56 which includes regulation and development of interstate rivers and river valleys. So we're talking about the Central Water Management Authority. So you have to know some facts. So it is a permanent body. It is not a temporary body. It is a permanent body. And this body will regulate the control of Kaveri water releases. And will be providing assistance. Okay, assistance to this Kaveri Water Regulation Committee. Okay, so this is about this topic. And if you're talking about way forward, what can be done? So whenever there is interstate water disputes, yes, we have to focus on some way forward, like how can you decrease the tensions between the 2 countries regarding the sharing of water. So here if you are talking about the way forward, what can be done? So what are the rivers which are there in our country? So we have to declare those rivers as national priority. So this national priority can be done by Supreme Court, so that we can depoliticize the issues between the states regarding this interstate water disputes. and we have to bring water under this concurrent list. So this had been recommended by this Mihir Shah report. And we have to practice concept of 4 R's, that is reduce, reuse, recycle and recover, so that we can go for effective water management. So this water management is one of the sustainable development goal, that is 6. And this one is we can also follow this national water policy, and we need to emphasize on the rational use of water and conservation of water resources also. And even we can go for interlinking of river waters, and as well as we can go for scientific management of crop patterns. So this is about this topic. And if we are talking about some facts regarding this Kaveri river, so Kaveri river also known as Ponni in Tamil, okay, and it's also called as Ganga of the South, and it's the 4th largest the river of our South India. So even this Kaveri is one of the sacred river of South India, because it rises in Brahmagiri hills of Western Ghats, and which is in the southern western part of Karnataka state, and it flows in the southeasterly direction to the states of Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, and finally it will be descends into the Eastern Ghats and it drains into the Bay of Bengal. So if we are talking about some tributaries of this Kaveri, we have Arkavati, Hemavati, Kabini, Harangi, Simsa, Tirtha and Lakshmana. So you can see the map here. So it has been originated here and it is moving like this, and finally it is also making the delta here. So because of this Kaveri delta here, so always, so there used to be the wars between the two important kingdoms which are present during the ancient period. So please let me know which are those ancient kingdoms which used to fight for this Kaveri delta regions. Okay, so this is about this topic. And now let us try to see the next topic. Title says Lunar 25 will not affect Chandrayaan, says Russian Space Agency. Okay, Russian Space Agency says that here there will be no effect on Lunar. Lunar 25 will not have any negative impact on Chandrayaan 3. So this article is very important, because here you have to see the lunar missions of different countries, and you have to see what is Lunar 25. So what are the special highlights of this Lunar 25? Okay, so this topic is important from your science and technology. So if you see context, it says that Russia's space agency called as Roscosmos, which came with a statement that, so it launched this Lunar 25 and it is going to land on south pole of moon, and it is not going to have any impact on Chandrayaan 3. So this is the thing which mainly said by this Roscosmos. So Lunar 25, which launched from this Lunar's Vostokny spaceport, and this lunar lander is expected to reach moon on August 23rd. So which is the same day on which Chandrayaan is going to have a landing on the lunar surface. So here Lunar 25 and Chandrayaan 3, they have different landing areas, but they are going to explore the south pole of moon. So one major difference here is, so here in this Chandrayaan 3 we have lander, rover, right? So it will be moving on the surface of the moon. But here this Luna, it is a static. So it will be collecting samples and it will be come back to the surface. So what are the objectives and challenges of this Lunar 25? So Lunar 25, which is having a primary task here, it is to collect the rock samples. And from this rock samples, so they will be identifying if there is any presence of frozen water is there or not. And this is the thing which mainly said by this Roscosmos. So what is the important objective and challenges? And even European Space Agency's Spoiler D navigation camera is planned to test this Lunar 25 also. So here if you are talking about different countries' lunar explorations, so first one is you have to talk about Soviet Union, that is Russia. Russia have the different lunar programs. Okay, that is Lunar 2, Lunar 9, Lunar 16, and now it is Lunar 24. Okay, Lunar 25 now. Okay, 24 completed and 25. So in 1959, the first human-made object to reach moon under this Lunar 2, and first successful soft landing on moon, which had done way back in 1966 by Russia. But if you understand and if you think about India, even in 2022 also we failed. So you can understand how technologically this Russia, which is most advanced compared to that of India. And Lunar 60, it is successful returned lunar soil samples onto the Earth's surface, and Lunar 24 collected and returned lunar samples onto their surface. So this is about the missions of Russia on moon. And next one is US have this Apollo program, Apollo 11, Apollo 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, and they are focusing on lunar landing, scientific experiments and moonwalks. And next one is China also came up with program called as Chang program. So Chang 3 in 2013 successfully landed rover on its surface, and Chang 4 in 2019 which landed on the far side of the moon and deployed the U2 rover. And this one is Chang 5 collected lunar samples and returned them to the earth. And this one is Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter of USA, so which has been launched in 2009, and this Reconnaissance Orbiter which is to study moon's surface, and they want to gather data for future lunar missions also. And next mission is of India. We have Chandrayaan 1, Chandrayaan 2 and Chandrayaan 3. So Chandrayaan 1 detected, yes, there is presence of water molecules on the lunar surface. And next one here is we have orbiter, lander and rover in this Chandrayaan 2, but it has been a failed mission. And Chandrayaan 3, we have to see whether it will be going to success or not. And next one is lunar impact missions. For example, we have SMART 1. So and also we have moon impact probe. So these were the missions which were deliberately impacted on the moon to study its surface. And we are also having this Artemis program, so planned program which aimed to return humans into the moon. And this one is U2 rover. So U2 rover of China, so it is a part of this Chang 4 mission. So the rover which continues to explore the far side of the moon. So these are some important things that you have to remember. And now let us try to see the next topic. It is about India focused on strengthening MDBs. Okay, MDBs, that is multilateral development banks, to address global challenges. So globally here many countries are facing many challenges. So what are the challenges faced by the number of countries from economy point of view? So please let me know, answer in the comment box. Don't forget about this. Try to think. So if you are giving homework to your brain, then only your brain will think fast. So or else it will be sleeping always. So if you see the context, it says that the primary focus of India's G20's presidencyship in 2023, which has been to strengthen multilateral development banks. And we have to address the global challenges also. So this is the thing which said by Union Ministry for Finance and Corporate Affairs. So if we talk about these details, so we have multidimensional banks. They are facing increasing demands for from the donor and as well as from the borrowing countries, and they will expand their lending operations beyond their core development mandates. And this one here is this multi-development banks. They are not currently equipped to address the rising demand of resources. Yes, many countries they are asking more and more resources, but these resources are very much less with these multi-development banks. And next one is we have to strengthen these multi-development banks for the immediate experts group. And next one is India's G20 presidency, which has given a great importance to the management of global debt vulnerabilities, and even they will be demonstrating a commitment to voice a concern of the global south. So we're talking about this multi-development banks. They are the financial institutions, and they will be providing loans, not only loans but grants, but technical assistance to the developing countries, especially for the economic and as well as social development. So MDBs, they include the World Bank Group, Asian Development Bank and as well as African Development Banks, and they comes under Inter-American Development Bank, etc. And these MDBs, they have been instrumental in supporting development of both low income and as well as middle income countries. They are also called as LICs and MICs, and they are focusing on issues like poverty reduction, infrastructure development and human capital formation. So what is the need of this developing of this, or how we want to revitalize this MDBs? So first one is they are outdated and they are inadequate as well. So because of this, they are not dealing with the rapid changes and the complexities, and the current operational strategies and business models of MDBs, they are not optional for meeting the diverse and evolving needs. So they are not meeting the needs, they are not meeting the demands. Yes, because of that we need this. And next one is, what are the current strategies and models are there? So here they do not leverage the full potential of MDBs, and we have to focus on mobilizing of resources, and we have to focus on partnership, and we have to focus on policy dialogue, alignment, monitoring and evaluation of progress. And for that also we need to go for revival of this MDBs. And the current governance structure of this MDBs is not representative. So we need to focus on investments, okay, and as well as we need to focus on interest of stakeholders as well as shareholders. And if you're talking about the current structure, so which is not reflecting the change in the balancing of power. So because of this also, yes, we need to focus on developing of this MDBs. So this is about this topic. And now let us try to see one map. So actually today in editorial session there is an article regarding Ecuador government. So here you have to see where exactly Ecuador is there, because if I ask you to find this Ecuador on map, so I don't know, I'm not sure that after completing of watching of this video you are opening the map and you are seeing the location. So I don't have that much confidence that you are going to do this work. So because of this I thought that why can't I take the risk and why can't I show that also. Okay, so let me know honestly. So whenever I am saying you have to do the map based work, so how many of you are doing this? So please raise the hand and please comment me, okay, so that I will be knowing whether you are doing the homework or not, whether you are accountable for me or not. So according to the concept of collective responsibility, so here Council of Ministers will be accountable to Lok Sabha, but you have to think you are accountable to whom. So you are accountable to you only. So you have to think that whether you are doing the work or not, so whether you are improving day by day or not, so whether you are keeping the interest or not, whether you are including the hard work or not, because smart work will not work for UPSC, only hard work will work. Okay, so hard work will beats, so you have to do work hard. Okay, so if you say this is a map which shows about Ecuador, so Ecuador is located here, and here we have Peru and Colombia. So the countries which are sharing boundary with Ecuador is Colombia and Peru. And if you see the water bodies here we have Pacific Ocean, here we have Caribbean Sea, and here we have Atlantic Ocean. So you have to see that. So finally, I want to announce a small course here, that is main chance writing practice, that we came up in this Rathod's IAS Academy. So here we are providing daily one question, that is based on the schedule that we are providing, and you have to write answer and you have to send your answer to our email ID so that there will be evaluation will be done. And apart from that, you will be having live doubt clearing session, live classes on every Sunday, and there will be one-to-one mentorship, and we are covering each and every topic from your GS, GS1, GS2, GS3, GS4 along with your essay and case study. So try to join this course, and if you want to talk to me directly, you can call me on this number 8074765513. So apart from this main answer writing course, we are also providing foundation course for 2024 and 2025. So you can take that, and if you want to take single module or single subject, so that is also available, and you can visit Rathod's IAS Academy website for the details of the courses. Okay, and if you have any query, you can text me even on the WhatsApp or Telegram. Okay. So now let us have a look over today's Hindu newspaper PDF. So this is our today's Hindu newspaper PDF. So the date is August 12th and today is Saturday. The first topic, it is about Centre seeks to overhaul British era criminal laws. So I discussed this topic. So this is talking about IPC. So IPC will be replaced by Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita Bill. And next one is CRPC will be replaced by Bharatiya Nagarik Suraksha Sanhita, and Indian Evidence Act will be replaced by Bharatiya Saksha. So you have to know about this IPC, CRPC and Indian Evidence Act, and I think we are going to get editorials in the tomorrow's or day after tomorrow's newspaper, so we are going to discuss that. And if you move on, you can leave the city page. So there is nothing important from city page in the today's newspaper. And if you move on to states page, here you can see Shinde Sena to take action against 5 MPs of Uddhav faction for violating whip. So here you have to understand what is a whip. Whip, it is nothing but in every class we will be having CR, right? So in the same way, for every political party we have a whip, and all the political party members, so that political party members, they have to follow the directions of the whip. Okay, so this is about this whip. And if you move on, in this page number 8, you can see this Kaveri water dispute. I discussed this topic, and I also discussed this topic regarding Lunar. Lunar will not affect Chandrayaan. Okay, so this is the thing which said by Russian Space Agency. I discussed this topic. And one homework I want to give here is NGT to Odisha stop illegal construction near Tampara Lake. So you have to let me know some facts regarding this Tampara Lake. So where it is located, and you have to also refer what are the significance of wetlands. Okay, so what are the ecological services which are provided by the wetlands. So this is the thing that you have to think from this topic. And if you move on, in this editorial page, the first article is not much important because it is a political article. And I discussed about this petty battles topic, and I discussed about this need of new economic policy. And there is no need of going through this ground zero. And if you move forward here in this page number 13, you can see Parliament paves way for 28% GST on online gaming. So already we discussed about this topic number of times regarding casinos, horse racing, e-gaming. So we have 28% of GST. And this one is SC collegium firm on transfer of 24 High Court judges. So here you have to see what is this collegium system and how it came into picture. And you have to see the different judges cases that you can see directly in your Lakshmikant. And in this page number 14, you can see this article, Center Defense Use of Vasudevaka Kutumbakam and G20 logo as China objects. So go to this article once. And in this business page, you can see June industrial growth slows to 3.7%. So because of that, we can see there is a Hindu rate of growth, that is a slow growth in our country. So because of this, there is a need of new economic policy. And this one is India focused on strengthening of MDBs. I discussed this topic. And this one is direct tax collections rose to 17.3%. So here you have to see which all comes under the direct taxes. So please give me some examples of direct taxes in the comment box. So these are some important articles that appeared in the today's Hindu newspaper. So by this I am concluding. So if you really like this video, hit the like button. So if you're hitting the like button and if you are doing the comments, so this video will be getting the maximum reach. So the important thing that we are expecting from you is likes and comments. So please do like as much as possible and comments also, and try to share this video in the other groups such that it will be helpful for other students also. So by this I am concluding. Thank you so much for watching.